Palm Sunday of 1990. It was April 8th. It was a beautiful spring day, and we celebrated at worship that morning the Jesus coming into Jerusalem. And that afternoon was Kyle's birthday party. Kyle was a little boy in our church who had been diagnosed with leukemia about a year and a half before. And of course, this was a difficulty, an ordeal for all of us, that we hoped and prayed that Kyle would get better. He went through chemotherapy, all the trips down to Children's Hospital down in Philly. He went through a bone marrow transplant with his little sister bravely donated bone marrow to try and heal Kyle. And now it was Palm Sunday of 1990, and Kyle was clearly not doing well, and he was dying. And the big birthday party that afternoon was for his 8th birthday, and we all sat around and gave Kyle presents, and he sat there as if he had just run about 1,000 miles because he was beyond that point. And later that night, Kyle started bleeding all over the place, and then he died during the night, which broke everybody's heart, including my heart too. And the funeral was that Thursday, Maundy Thursday in the morning, and a lot of kids, a lot of adults, and a lot of pain, a lot of questions. And talk, for instance, about the question of why, which we all struggle with especially when it's somebody who's just turned 8 on that day, Palm Sunday, and then they die. So since Kyle's grave was right across from the church, I would frequently walk down the little hill there and stand at Kyle's grave, and I would grieve, and I would pray, and I would grieve. And like I say, it broke a lot of people's hearts, including my own. But one time I was down there, and I was standing there looking at Kyle's grave, and the words came into my head. And I don't know, I personally believe it came from the Spirit. You know, the Spirit calls us to remembrance. And the words that came into my head were, "Why do you seek the living among the dead? He is not here, he is risen." And of course, those were the words that the angel spoke to the women at Jesus's tomb on Easter. And obviously, I was still hurting, and so were a lot of people still hurting about losing Kyle from our lives. But now, when I went down to the grave there, at Kyle's grave, I would be reminded of those words. Why do you seek the living among the dead? He is not here, he is risen. And I still try and hold on to those words, especially, during the painful deaths, the tragic deaths that keep happening all over in your life and in mine and in the life of this world. So that is the Easter, the pain of Holy Week and the promise of Holy Week, that there's still death, but that the Lord has transformed death by rising from the grave. And I believe he has Kyle in his arms, and I believe someday he'll have you and me in his arms too. So I wish us a good Friday and a happy Easter.